All right, welcome back, everybody, to another edition of Dollar Bin Digging Finds. I got a small stack of books that I got to share with you this week, but before we get into those, just a little bit of news about my channel. We're not going to be doing the variant heat check or the Star Wars heat check any longer because Benzie and I were talking, and we just weren't having a lot of fun doing market reports because, market reports aren't really that fun. So we're going to figure out something else to do together. And in the meantime, I also came up with another show idea for another quick little 5-minute videos that I can put out for you guys that I think will be kind of interesting. More details to come on that, possibly as soon as tomorrow if I can get this done. So keep an eye out for Chasing Ghosts, where I'm going to be looking at some ghost comics, books you just can't find, just impossible to find comics, why they're impossible to find, and just a little bit of story behind them. So that's what I got coming your way eventually, hopefully this week, but we'll see what I can pull together on the fly. That being said, hopefully you are enjoying everything we're doing here on the channel. Please like, subscribe, hit that alert button so you don't miss any of the content as it's dropping. Still shooting to go daily. Hopefully we can get there, even though I'm pulling back some, hopefully replacing it with some other good stuff that you guys like. So please, hit me up in the comments as well. Tell me what you want to see, what things you like, what you don't like, just so I know what kind of content I should be putting out there. That being said, just hang on for a second, and I'll be right back to show off the books that I picked up this week. Well, as you know, this is a dollar bin digging article, basically. These are books that I'm picking up for $1, and in some cases, $2. It's the nature of the business these days. There's so many more $2 bins out there that I kind of have to include them in this because it's just how people are rolling when they're selling their cheap books these days. So $1 to $2. So we're just going with the cheap book finds that we have. And for our first bit of content here, I got some classic cartoons. As you know, I love this stuff. Stuff from the 80s and 90s. This is right in my wheelhouse, and this is scratching me right where I itch these days. And these are just a couple of comics. Don't have a lot, so won't keep you too long with these. But first one being DuckTales. I know it's not what you might have been expecting, action figure toys or anything like that, but this DuckTales #1, it's not too bad. And I was happy to pick it up and find it. I loved DuckTales when I was younger. That was one of my favorite shows to watch after school. And I can still sing the song, and I hear it right now in my head as we're talking. Another random book I just picked up. This isn't worth really much of anything, but as I find them, I go and grab them. And this is a Sectars, just a random Sectars. Nothing special about it. Issue 5. Okay shape, not in great shape, but not chewed up. So for $1, I was grabbing it. We got this issue of G.I. Joe. As I mentioned, I'd grab any G.I. Joe that I find out there. Any. So if you see it and it's $1 or $2, this was $1 in today's case. There's issue 59, which I think there's a first in here. It might be this Hawk guy on the cover. I can't remember his name right now. But decent issue. And like I said, I'd grab any that I find. And another one that I picked up this week is this G.I. Joe 120. Which actually has a couple of first appearances from the Ninja Force guys. I think Slice and Dice are both in here for the first time. So that I thought was kind of interesting to find because, hey, Ninja Force, it's kind of silly, I know, but hey, what are you going to do? So those were the cartoon books that I grabbed. And among those, I also happened to snag some variants as well. Just a couple incentive variants, but mixing in with these, I'm also going to throw in the newsstands and second prints in the variant category this week because I, just want to wrap things all together. So we're going to start off with a newsstand that I found, and this is Batman 492, which I'm sure you guys all remember from the 90s. Kicks off, Nightfall, the Nightfall storyline. And you can see it's a pretty cool little newsstand there. I mean, it even has the date this was released, May 4th, 1993. I thought that was kind of cool, so I figured I would grab this for $1, Another one I scooped up. This is a second print for Superman 625. Not a big sketch cover guy, but certain ones catch my eye, and this Michael Turner was pretty cool to me, so I definitely wanted to grab it, for cheap. So Jim Lee, Michael Turner, there's certain exceptions to the rule where I'm usually against sketch or pencil covers, and this one was kind of fun. And it's second print. I don't know if it really does anything, but I figured I'd grab it for cheap because why not? Now, these used to be pretty plentiful. I used to see these gold Marvel second prints all the time, but now they seem to be getting harder and harder to find. With everybody picking up like the New Mutants 87s and the New Mutants 100s, like all those gold second prints. But this Wolverine number 41, which used to be a book that people liked way back in the day because it was an early Cable appearance. You had Sabretooth versus Wolverine, which was always, you know, a prize fight where people wanted that book and that, you know, cameo or that, you know, that appearance by Sabretooth fighting Wolverine. That was always a big deal back when I was collecting in the 90s. And hence this one getting a second print. And like I said, these gold versions aren't, I don't see them as much anymore. I think they're getting a little tougher to find. So this was a nice clean copy, so I figured I'd grab it, you know, for cheap for that reason. Surprised to see like incentive variants, you know, tucked away in the, I think these were $2. I think these were in the $2 bin, but still for $2, I mean, I'm going to grab a 1 in 25 for $2. And I think that's what this one is. I think this is Blackest Night number 4. And I'm pretty sure it's a 1 in 25. I know they printed a lot of these, but still, I mean, for $2, I'm still going to grab the thing because I think it's pretty cool. Pretty cool cover. And I think the next one here is a 1 in 10 for Wonder Woman number 33. And I just kind of dig it. This whole run of Wonder Woman 1 in 10 variants was pretty nice. And I'm pretty sure I have this one already. But again, for $2, I'm grabbing an incentive variant for cheap because these aren't that easy to find, and to find it in a cheap box, I mean, why not scoop it up? That's what I got there. And now we are going to move on to the artist picks. I always pick up artist books because, you know, I like art. I like cover art. I like comic art. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. This one is not by an artist that I really, you know, pick up or follow much, but it's a cover that just kind of, you know, caught my eye and I scooped it up. And this is a Thunderbolts. What is this? Number 80. It looks like a cover to a Maxim magazine or something. I thought it was just kind of fun, so I grabbed this, you know, for cheap because I feel, you know, I felt like it was cool enough to grab. So I know these Thunderbolts, they don't do all that well, but there's a nice little run of these interesting little covers that they did. And I always see them in the cheap boxes, and I just always go, maybe next time, maybe I'll grab them if I don't find anything else. And then this time I found this one, so I grabbed this number 80 because I thought it was pretty cool. For $1 at the shop, I found a Tomb Raider 18. Hughes, you know, I'm a Hughes fan, and anytime I find these Tomb Raider books where he did the cover, I grab them. I just have it. Again, I'm pretty sure I have this one, but I'm going to get it every time. Every time I see it. One I don't see in those boxes much anymore, I used to a lot because they printed a lot. These were heavily printed back in the day, is McFarlane's Spider-Man run. And this is just number 3. It was just a nice, clean copy that was just in the dollar bin. So I felt like, you know what? I'm just grabbing this because I remembered I loved this run. The art on this was just something that I remember poring over and just going through it page by page back when I was younger, trying to emulate his art a little bit. I was always more, it was easier, or I preferred going more towards the Jim Lee style, but McFarlane was also one that I tried to, pick up some of the tricks that he used when drawing some. Just seeing this for $1, I was scooping it up. I know there are tons of these out there, but like I said, nice clean copy. I just felt bad leaving it there. So for $1, I brought it home. And speaking of Jim Lee, I believe this is one of his earliest works inside in this classic X-Men number, what is this, 39? Yeah, 39. I think he does a little side, a few pages, little mini or sub-story inside here, which is early Jim Lee Marvel work. So one of those things I always see and I always grab it every time I see it because that's the type of stuff I like to collect. And while staying on that Jim Lee train, here we go. I found this and said, you know what? I'm picking this thing up. The Art of Homage Studios. Homage. I used to always call it Homage when I was younger, but I'm pretty sure it's Homage. And yeah, this was Jim Lee's studio before he did Wildstorm, because Silvestri was in there with him as well before he went off and did Top Cow. This was kind of very early on, so you can see you got Jim Lee, Mark Silvestri, Scott Williams, and Wils. I don't know how to pronounce his name either. I'm bad with names, I'm sorry. But again, for $1, I thought this was kind of fun. I can't wait to flip through this later because it'll just bring me back to those 90s. And I should have put this one earlier because this goes back with McFarlane. And I know I grabbed this recently too, but this is a part of McFarlane's Hulk run. 333. Always, again, as I see it, I always see him. I'll grab it for $1. It's not worth a ton, but an $8 to $10 book for $1, I just have a hard time leaving it there. So just have it. It's one of those things. So I grabbed it. which will just bring us to the randomness portion of our program. These are the things that really didn't fit cleanly into any category, so here they are. Now, I knew this was coming, that Netflix was doing a series on this, and I've been seeing, I literally have passed over these 2 copies in the box at one of the shops I go to a lot for weeks. Always looking at it going, should I buy this? I don't know. And then I finally bought them today, and then I look up what prices are going for, and I'm glad I finally pulled the trigger and did it. And that's Ultraman #1. Ultraman. Yeah, he's got a series coming, and these 2 in particular, you can see down there below. I didn't put it in the other category, but that's a newsstand. So if you look at prices on this, it's pretty tough and pretty expensive. People are asking a bit for that one. And I did find there's also a sealed copy. So I got one that's still poly bagged as well. Nicely, still bagged and bordered. I'll have to change this bag, but inside the poly bag looks like it's a nice clean copy too. So this doesn't do too bad as well, still being in the poly bag. So Ultraman, 2 copies of #1, 1 newsstand, 1 poly bagged. Both $1 each. Happy to find those. I know I brought this up in the last few weeks in one of the Dollar Bin articles, and this is infamous Iron Man #1. First AI Tony Stark. I still think we're going to get him, and I think we're going to get him with Riri in some way. So people will go back to this one. This one heated up for a while and then kind of faded, and that's why you're finding it in those cheap boxes again. But I would grab them if you see them in there again. This was just like one of those old specs that was still lingering in my head, and I found them in the dollar box, so I felt like, you know what, I'm just going to grab them. And that is, I'm going to put these 2 together because they're for the same reason. I forget the order of which one appeared first, but I know they're tied together. And this is that Teen Titans Legion special and Teen Titans #17, which I think were the first appearance of Tim Drake as Batman in some way. I think that in this special there might have been a preview or something, and then in the regular Teen Titans book he took on the mantle of Batman there. So there was interest in it for a while, or for a little while there. So it's one of those old things that was just in my head, and I remember the issue numbers and saw the covers. It's like, you know what, that was something. For $1 I'm just going to grab it. So old spec, maybe it'll come back around again, who knows. If not, well, I wasted $2. This could use a little bit of a cleaning, but all in all, still spine's pretty good. And this is a Deadpool marked with the mouth. What is this, #5? #5, which is one of the few movie poster homages they did on this run, which I think were pretty fun. I like homages, and especially the movies and pop culture. I really dig that kind of stuff. So anytime I see a cover that is like that, I usually grab it. And Deadpool marked with the mouth, they did quite a few. So if you see any of those, let's scoop them up. Even if they're a little dingy, just gotta clean it up just a little bit. Speaking of homages, here is another one. This is X-O Man-O-War #10. And look at that nice little callback there to Avengers. Is it Avengers 4 with Cap, coming into the team? Just thought it was kind of fun. So for $1, bringing it home. Another one that I thought was just interesting, caught my eye because you don't see her in this outfit much. And this is Marvel Team Up #5, Spider-Man and X-23. But you see, that was her original outfit that was kind of like a Wolverine, old school Sabretooth mashup that she went with at first when she first came into the the Marvel universe. And you don't see that much on covers. She appeared in, what was it, Uncanny 450, 451, I think. And when else did you really see this outfit like on a cover? So I thought it was interesting, so I grabbed it for $1. And then the final one, I just saw language I didn't understand, and figured I'm going to grab it because it looked interesting, and I'll figure out what it is later. And so I grabbed this Superman, this UNICEF little story. I think this was from Eastern Europe. I'm not sure which country. I think there's multiple versions. I did a quick little bit of research before doing this video, and there was different versions for like Yugoslavia and Croatia, and I'm not sure which one this one might be. And there's also an English version of it, but it's like basically Superman telling a story of these kids watching out for bombs in the ground, like landmines. Thought it was kind of interesting. It's only like a few pages, like 5 to 10 pages, and very thin, very flimsy, but I thought it was interesting. So this is the kind of weird stuff that I like grabbing for $1. So I saw it and was like, nip, put it in the pile. So not too bad. definitely interesting. Got to figure out which one this actually is, but also I think this this doesn't do too bad. I think there's a $20 a lot of $20 asking prices and higher for this thing. Yeah, that little weird thing. I don't know. People collect all kinds of stuff, including myself. And yeah, so that's all I got this week. Not a lot, as I said. I'm trying to cut back on the sheer number of books that I grab, to kind of pick through and be more selective in the things I'm bringing home, because I got to really trim the fat here. I've got way too many books around me. If you can only see the boxes that are surrounding me, I look like a hoarder. But what are you going to do? That being said, once again, please like, subscribe, hit the alert button so you're not missing the content on the channel. Keep an eye out for that new series that I'm going to be doing, Chasing Ghosts. And yeah, I got plenty of stuff still coming, coming your way. Hopefully you're enjoying it. And I will see you guys next time.